Hey everybody, I'm Andy Smith, your hostess with the mostest. I'm a 30-year comic book veteran, having worked for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Image Comics, Cross Generation, Ominous Press. You name it, I've probably worked for them. And I do other things art-wise outside of comics in the field of advertising. I've also written some books on drawing comics you might have seen. Drawing American manga superheroes, Drawing Dynamic Comics was my first book. And I also did the handy little How to Draw Superhero Sketchbook, where all you need is a pencil because you do all the work right inside the book. Enough about that. This is the Book Look series. The Book Look series is where I grab a book off my library. You can see the tons of books I have behind me. And I go through it page by page with you, so you can see if it's a book that you might want to buy. I like to know what I want to buy before I buy it, and I feel this is a way to give you some insight into these books. So join me for today's book look. Thanks. Well, hello everybody. Howdy do to you. This is your host with the most, Andy Smith, 31-year veteran of the comic book industry. You've watched these book looks, you know the deal. I grab a book off my shelf. I go through it page by page for you guys. If you like it, go see if you can still buy it. Some of the books are out of print. Yeah, if you don't like it, well then now you know. Before I get going, you saw the video, Kor-Drath, The Reckoning, my new project from my studio, Astonishing Comics. Sign up for it now. It launches soon. If you sign up, you get an exclusive Lilith trading card. It's only for people that sign up and back the campaign after signing up. So check that out. Okay, moving on to John Buscema Sketchbook by J. David Spurlock and John Buscema, with an introduction by the great Jim Steranko. This cover itself is a treat. You don't get to see John Buscema's paintings much. I'm going to assume this was not a finished painting, just a painting he was working on, but it still has a lot of energy to it. I like the colors. I like the big, bold brush strokes. Just very cool. Yes, John Buscema was also a painter. And one hell of an artist. Just look at that close-up of that face right there. That is gorgeous looking. Beautiful pencil rendering drawing. This book came out in, let's see, 2001. You can probably still get it. I don't know. I don't really look because I own it. It's not a long book, 105 pages. Here's the introduction by Mr. Jim Steranko, John Buscema and the Renaissance of Comic Art. And you could say that when John was really breaking in, there was definitely a renaissance going on, a big shift in stylistic change in comic book artists at that time. Of course, you see some of the covers he was known for along the side right there. The women. What a great chapter to start with. This drawing right here just shows you that John Buscema wasn't just a comic book artist. And what I mean by that is he knew how to draw the human form. And when he drew comic books, he stylized it. Kind of like his younger brother, Sal. Sal's work is very stylized in comic books, but if you look at his life drawings and such, the guy really knew how to draw. We have a nice interview right here that was done at the time of the book's publication. I love seeing sketches like this and love seeing things partially inked by John. The sketches alone are just gorgeous to look at. Very loosey-goosey, just goofing around type stuff, warming yourself up. And then you have just this is just gorgeous. Everything is there. Honestly, everything's there that an inker would need to go in and finish this off. Same with this drawing right here. His women are, what's that word I'm looking for? Voluptuous. That's the word I'm looking for. Gesture and contour drawings. So this book does delve into a lot of things we haven't seen. Now, there is more text. When I see the word sketchbook in a book's title, I like to see more artwork than text, but that's okay. There's quite a number of John Buscema books out there. If you go through my past book looks, you'll come across probably 3 other John Buscema books that I've done book looks on that are more comprehensive in regards to the amount of artwork that's included. These are just great gesture drawings, though. Nice and loose. Just get the gesture down fast. David says, figure work has always been your specialty. John, well, that's right. There should be an exclamation point there. That's right, yo. Baseball players here. Life drawing up here. Illustration. This is where I wish this book had some more full color stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's all black and white. But look at the tonal value in this pencil drawing right here. Just faces like this really shows John knows what he's doing. I mean, we already knew he did, but these are on toned paper with graphite and then white pastel, most likely, or charcoal to bring out highlights. This is such a thing because John worked in advertising for a while. He did comics, he got out of comics, and then when Marvel started doing superhero stuff, that's when Stan Lee gave him a ring-a-ding and said, hey, John, we'd like you back. And he got back into comics because he wouldn't have to go into an office every day to do advertising. But this was very much what the advertising stuff looked like back in the time period of the late 50s, early 60s. This is a movie poster by Bob Peak, who was an influence on John. Bob Peak's work is just toot sweet gorgeous. This is cool. This is actually on the back cover of the book in full color. But what I like about this is, you know, if something works in color, if you can convert it to grayscale and it works. If you can take a color drawing that you're doing and convert it to grayscale, and if it works in gray tones, it'll work in full color. Nice pencil rendering of that guy. This was also a color piece. Pen and ink stuff here. Now, I wish these were in full color, because these are early 60s book cover illustrations that John did in full color. I should actually see if I could find... I would love to own these books just for the cover paintings. Of course, John's favorite, Swords and Sorcery. Oh, yeah. This is where I discovered Big John doing Conan. And actually, I think I discovered him doing Tarzan first. On the back of John's pages he would send into Marvel, there were a lot of these unfinished drawings he would do, because he would do warm-ups on the back of paper and stuff. This guy's like, bring me more drink, damn it, as he picks up a bar bench. Of course, great shot of Conan right there. Classic Conan on a horse, a bucking horse. I mean, John drew horses Two of my favorite artists to draw horses. The way they drew them are John and Joe Kubert. The way they drew their horses, you could tell they really understood the anatomy of the horse when they did the artwork. So nice. This was a color piece as well. Would have been nice to see it in color. It might be on the back cover of this book. I don't remember for sure. Just more sketching. John just loved to draw. I think if he could just get paid to do sketches and not even do storytelling stuff, he would have taken that. But this was his favorite stuff to draw. If you read articles and interviews about him, he'll say flat out, he was not a big fan of drawing superheroes. He did it for the paycheck. But he loved doing Conan and stuff like that. Once again, a nice voluptuous woman there. He did great ogre-looking type creatures as well. And then even a drunk guy. Oh, I drank too much. These look like almost, yep. Concept sketch for an unrealized Conan painting. So yeah, so these are sketches. And I had a feeling they were used for paintings because of how he worked in gray tones and stuff. I mean, this guy could do it all. This guy's very Prince Valiant looking. I know he was a big fan of Hal Foster. Who isn't? Look at that guy. Rough and tumble. Barbarians. This is a piece that was finished, so this might have been a prelim or something else because I've seen this piece finished. Just great attitude to that Conan. Swinging 60s. Oh, yeah. Let's get to the swinging 60s. What's cool here is we'll get to see, I believe in this chapter, some of his cartoonier work. Yes, so even John could bust down doing cartoony stuff with the best of them. Short chapter, but nice seeing this. Champions or heroes. I wish this was bigger on the page. That Hercules. Yeah, I would have made that a lot bigger on the page just to be able to see it more, even though it's just a sketch. More just quick sketches and stuff here. Nice sketch, once again, showing his aptitude at drawing horses. This is kind of a glimpse into what Sergeant Rock could have looked like if it was drawn by John Buscema. I think him drawing Sergeant Rock would have been epic. Of course, little Nick Fury. Some Silver Surfer sketches. His run on Silver Surfer and Submariner are just some of my favorite comics he did. Great Punisher. He did some Punisher stuff. Just love that Punisher. Just beefy. Westerns. Look at that horse. Just beautiful. Sketches have so much life and vitality to them. His faces are just so unique, and each one has its own character to it. I mean, after all, he is the guy that wrote How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. So, just great body posture with this guy. And then some nice horses right here. I mean, sketching horses, that's cool. Not something I would normally do, but that's freaking cool. Great posture on this guy. Leg forward, leg back. This arm forward to juxtapose that leg forward, that arm back. So there's a little twist to the figure and such. John did a Punisher Western story. I believe it was written by Chuck Dixon. I have that trade paperback. It's super cool. Punisher in the old times of the old Wild Wild West, in the Wild Wild West. Kapow, the Wild Wild West. Pirates, amity. Can't think of many pirate stories John drew. But he did draw Hercules. These were 4-color comics from Dell. He did movie adaptations of Hercules, Spartacus, Helen of Troy, Sinbad. And he did do a couple Westerns in there as well. He only drew about 7 of them. And this is late 50s before he was doing stuff for Marvel. And if you can track him down, he did most of the inks on that stuff too. It's really, really nice stuff. His Hercules is one of my favorites because he really captured, oh my God, I'm blanking on the famous Steve Reeves, the bodybuilder that played Hercules. He really captured him well in that comic. Roy Thomas on Buscema character designs. Very nice little write-up there. Street life. Thug life. No, these are just sketches from life. Guess he would carry a sketchbook with him. I was told in the Kubert School you should always carry a sketchbook. Just look at this dude. His trench coat kind of blowing in the wind. He's got his fedora on. Looks like some type of detective. This is from 1992. Looks like all he used was a ballpoint pen to do the sketching. He just loved to draw, and it shows. And that's it. And then on the back, like I said, we can take a look at this. You can see like the full color of this guy that was gray toned on the inside, and the gray tones work, which means obviously the color works, and it's all just browns and stuff. I love that. I think it's gouache. Here's the color of her, and then yeah, here's the color of this Conan. Obviously it's not finished, but it's still very, very cool. Has a Frazetta type vibe to it. So check out this book if you're a John Buscema fan. I highly recommend it. John Buscema Sketchbook came out in 2001. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to hit the like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these book looks. It's a great way to look at different books that I pull off my shelf. And if you don't have them, you can see a page by page of these books. And that'll give you a better help in deciding if it's something you want to go buy. So check that out. Check some of the past videos out. Definitely sign up for Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. If you like He-Man and D&D and Sword and Sorcery, you will like this series. This next graphic novel I'm doing from my company, Astonishing Comics. Check it out. Sign up. By signing up and backing the campaign, you will get the limited edition Lilith trading card. Guys, thank you so much. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.